Hello everyone, I am Nalini Khan. My rule number is 19EC01005. Today we are going to have a brief discussion on convolution, the fourth experiment of Signals and Systems Lab. Firstly, in the first part, we are given four systems along with their input and output relationship, and we are asked to find the impulse responses of these four systems. An impulse response is nothing but the output of a system when its input is given as delta function. So by this we can get the impulse response as for the first question, y of n is equal to 1 by 3 into x of n plus x of n minus 1 plus x of n minus 2. If we substitute x of n as delta of n, we get h of n as, that is the impulse response of the system as 1 by 3 into delta of n plus delta of n minus 1 plus delta of n minus 2. That is nothing but 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3. Similarly, we can get for the second part the impulse response of the system as h of I is equal to 1 by m for I is equal to 1 to m. And for the third part, we get the impulse response as 1 comma minus 1 at 0 comma minus 1. For the fourth system, we get the impulse response of the system as 1 by 2 comma 0 comma 1 0 comma minus 1 by 2 at n is equal to 0 comma 1 comma 2. In the next part, we are asked to study the performance of the above systems using four different kinds of real world signals, including the PCG, ECG and speed signals. The four input signals look like this. These are the four input signals, and to perform convolution I have written a function in MATLAB. Over here we can see that the function needs inputs, impulse response of the system and the input signal. I have taken L1 and L2 as the length of input signal and the impulse response of the system respectively, and then the number of non-zero elements produced through convolution will be L1 plus L2 minus 1, which is equal to L. By following the definition of convolution, that is sigma of h of that is y of n is equal to sigma x of k into h of n minus k, from k is equal to minus infinity to infinity. I have written a for loop over here which satisfies the definition of convolution, that is a of n is equal to a of n plus x of k into h of n minus k plus 1, where the loop runs from 1 to L, comma L is equal to L1 plus L2 minus 1. This is the code for convolution of the first system using all four different input signals. The unit impulse response of the system is 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3, and A, B, C, D are the outputs of the convolution for the first, second, third and fourth systems respectively. So yes, this is the code. If we run the program, this is the impulse response of the system at 1 comma 2 comma 3. The output is 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3, and this is the convolution output of the first system. Moving on to the second system, the code is similar to the first part. If I run the code, we have to give the input to the value to m. I am giving the input as 50, 25 in the first case. This is the unit impulse response of the system, and this is the convolution output of the second system. Moving on to the third system, the code is similar to first and second parts. If we run the code, this is the unit impulse response of the third system, and this is the convolution output. Moving on to the fourth system, the code is similar to first, second and third parts. If we run the code, we will get the output as this is the unit impulse response of the fourth system, and this is the convolution output of the fourth system. With this, we have completed our part B and part C, and in part D we are asked to describe type of function of each system, that is whether the system is low pass filter or a high pass filter based on the observations on filter signals with reference to the input signal. Figure 1 shows the input signals, and figure 4 shows the filter signals using the first system. You can clearly see that the high frequencies present in fourth signal are attenuated in the filter signal, so we can clearly say that first system is a low pass filter. Here figure 3 shows the output signals from the second system. Here also you can see that the high frequencies are eliminated in the filtered signals of the fourth signal. So this is also, second system is also a low filter system. In the third system, you can clearly observe that the low filter system, low frequencies are attenuated, that is high frequencies are present. So we can clearly say that the third system is high pass filter. Similarly, the fourth system is also a high pass filter, as it is similar to the third system. In the next part, we are asked to write a difference equation which can be suitable to remove trend for the second system. For this, I have written a MATLAB code over here. The approach is nothing but, first of all we have to convolve the input signal and store it, and then we have to subtract the convolved output from the input signal. Like this we can remove the trend. Similar approach is followed in the code over here. As you can see that H is the unit impulse response of the system and A is the convolved output. I have used the convolve function over here to find the convolution output, and then I have used a for loop to find the difference between input signal and the convolved signal, and stored it in a new variable u, and then I have plotted the both graphs. If I run the code, let us to observe the trend in a better way, the value of m should lie between 100 and 500. So let us give the value of m as 150 and enter. As you can see, the red line is the trend in the initial signal, and by performing this code, the trend is removed. In the final part, we are asked to discuss the properties of discrete systems studied in class. Firstly, memory or memoryless. Second, invertible or non-invertible. Third, causal or non-causal. Fourth, stable or unstable. Next, time invariant or variant. Linear or non-linear. All the systems present in this given in this experiment are LTA, that is linear time invariant systems. A system is said to be LTI system if and only if it satisfies both linearity and time invariant conditions. A system is said to be linear if the system satisfies both homogeneity and superposition theorems, and it is said to be time invariant. Suppose if the input signal is suppose for input signal x of t, the output of the system is y of t, and if the input signal x of t is derived by time capital T, then the output of the signal should be also derived by a time capital T. Then the signal is said to be time invariant system. Then the system is said to be time invariant system. Coming to system 1, y of n is equal to 1 by 3 into x of n plus x of n minus 1 plus x of n minus 2. It is a memory system because the present output depends on present and past inputs. It is a causal system because the present output does not depend on future inputs. it is also a stable system because the response signal, the impulse response of the system is infinitely summable. Similarly, system 2 and similarly we can define the properties of system 2, 3 and 4. System 2 is a memory system, causal system, stable system. System 3 is a memory system, invertible system, causal system and stable system. And system 4 is a memory system, causal system and a stable system. With this we have completed our fourth experiment of signals and systems lab.